Hi guys, let me know if you can hear me. We're coming in from the inside now. Oh, look at my thing fell. Oh yeah. All right, guys. I know it took me a minute. I got some dates wrong with my son's pickup date. So their dad showed up here at 6:00, and I had to get them ready to go. I was like, oh shoot. So anyway, I take it you guys can hear me. Yay! Hi everyone. Thanks for coming to my live stream. I'm the Blue Fairy or Aurora Diamond Heart, as you know from my YouTube channel here on Facebook. Gosh, hopefully I can get this going now. After all that, it kind of like threw me off of my game here. So yeah, so we're inside today. Normally I'm outside there by my big beautiful willow tree that I call Esmeralda, but it's getting a little too cold here up in Michigan. So instead we're doing it inside. Hi everyone in the chat. Hi Alexis. Hi Miss Liz. Wait, one. Hi Chris. Hi Barry. Hi Geraldine. Nice to see you guys. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad you guys came to show up. Okay. So I guess what I'm going to do first is I'm going to announce a couple things that are coming up for me so that you can know where to find me. Okay, because I actually plan on I'm going to be at a conference coming up. 2 of them actually I'm supposed to be going to. So if you are looking to meet me in person, you can find out. There's a conference in Florida. I think it's called the Galactic Informers Convention. Is that what it is? Conference? And anyway, I post about it on my Facebook, so you can go ahead and find that there afterward. If hopefully that's how you found that. Also, there's going to be an upcoming vacation conference in Sedona in December that I'm going to be participating in. It's through Starseed Adventures. So if you're interested in that too, you can feel free to reach out to me. I'll also be doing a couple live streams, some interviews coming up. So I'll be doing one interview live at the conference in October. And I actually am going to be doing an interview live with Matthew Mornian and the Multidimensional School of Intuition on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So that's going to be a fun time. I hope you guys will come and hang out with us. Okay, so what I'm here to talk about today is the OA. Okay, now, for me, how spirit talks to me and how they guide me through my story, so to speak, how they guide me to unfold my story, is they speak to me a lot in TV shows, in stories, in movies, and even in books and stuff like that. Okay, they will just speak to me through giving me examples of, well, the situation you're living is like this, and they'll just pop, you remember this, and they'll give me a scene or a moment or even like a phrase, what I'm saying, from that particular show, and then I go and I look up the clips from the show because quite honestly, it's hard for me to watch movies or TV anymore. I don't, it's just, okay. I used to be someone who was big into watching cable television, and I tell people this why, because I used to I could feel people watching the shows with me. It took me a long time before we actually canceled the cable. And the main reason that I kept it on was because I would just have it on in the background. And when I would tune in, you know what I'm saying? I could feel people watching, just like when you go to a movie theater, you can feel the energies of the people watching the show, the movie with you, and there have been times even where I would go to a movie and I wouldn't very much like the movie at that time, but then I would get home and I would watch it by myself or, and it would be hit completely differently. And I really think that has to do with the fact that, we affect each other's energy fields. Okay. So anyway, the other thing I want to mention real quick before I get into decoding how they gave me these examples from the OA. Okay. Oh boy, don't lose it. Where is it at? Okay. So the imagination. The imagination is key. See, okay, being a walk-in, so to speak, okay, like one of the things that they told me that they do, okay, is that they have to pull, in order to communicate with you in the vessel, they have to pull from what this body has already experienced and what it already knows. You know what I'm saying? So the bigger the imagination, okay, the more that you have, played with that type of that realm and watched these other shows and things of that nature, the more of a dictionary, so to speak, they're going to have to be able to speak to you in. Okay, so let's get into the OA. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen the show. I'm sorry, I'm about to basically blow the whole thing for you. So if you don't want to know about the OA and you want to watch it on your own, go do that now. But it's been out for a couple years, so hopefully, I'm not ruining it for anyone. I know this was a big activating show for a lot of starseeds, and I think it's because of the truth in it. Okay, and when people hear the truth, it rings a certain way inside your spirit, inside your body. Okay, when you feel it, it will hit a certain way. I mean, for me, it does anyway. So, and I would think that is the same for most people. That's what following your heart is all about. Like when it hits the heart, or certainly, like you just know something is true. Okay, kind of clear cognizance type of thing. Okay, so the elemental principles of the OA, it's all really about interdimensional traveling. Okay, the first thing we come across in season 1, we come across a girl named Prairie. Okay, which if anyone remembers from my last live stream, Prairie was a big word for me in a dream synchronicity that I had. And they actually told me this one at the time. That's part of the reason why I started looking it up now. Okay, so it starts with a girl named Prairie, okay, who became blind when she was a young girl. All right, and through experiencing a near-death experience, she ends up regaining her sight, and they actually deem her the Michigan Miracle from that experience, which I thought was kind of funny, considering I'm from Michigan. And this is what they're telling me to look at these things and figure out the information packets that they want me to pick up, and that's what I'm going to share with you. Okay, so her only focus in this show, basically, in the first season, is presenting you with where she's come from and why she is doing the things that she's doing right now. Okay, her only focus is finding a way back to a group of companions that she lost. All right. These companions were with her, engaged with her for several years. All right. We're going to get into how that happened too. So, Prairie, after being blind, okay, she grows up and she was actually adopted. All right. Now, her father had actually passed away when she was younger, and she was a violinist. So she would go to the subways because in her heart, she believed he wasn't dead. So she would go to the subways and she would play this song that he had taught her in hopes that maybe he would find his way back to her. But instead, what it does is it lures in an angel hunter named Hap. And actually his Hap is like a shortened version of it's like his initials. Okay. So his actual name is Hunter, which I thought was kind of funny. Okay. So Hap is obsessed. This character, Hap, he's obsessed with understanding near-death experiences and where the soul goes to. After having been a doctor himself, he noticed that his patients, when they would come back to life, they would have a certain sound that would come in, and it was like a whooshing sound. Now, the reason I'm pointing out all these things, okay, right now, like the whooshing, like I believe this stuff is true. I believe this is telling us something, okay? So ringing in the ears. I know people, if you're a starseed, there's no way you haven't heard about, that being your guides or something is going on. You get to take like a tetanitis type of thing, or ringing in the ears. All right. So he noticed from this whooshing sound, all right, that what I think he was doing is he was noticing the subtle energy, okay, the subtle energy of the soul. All right. And he became attuned to this subtle energy of these particular souls of people who could survive near death experiences. Okay. And so once he figured out and he became attuned to this, he was able to track down these types of beings that had this certain type of energy. Now, these types of beings actually were angels. Okay. They had the angelic frequency. And that's one of the reasons why they were able to travel to the other side and come back, because they're multidimensional. Okay. So he manages to capture 5 angels, and he locks them in his basement in order to do these near-death experiences on them again and again and again. And it is during this time that Prairie gets her sight back. Okay. So over this first season, okay, we learn, now here's another important factor in interdimensional travel, okay? It can be done through movement. Okay, so the whole first season is about them learning how that there are a series of 5 divine or cosmic gestures that allow for interdimensional travel. So this is their escape. This is their escape from the captivity, okay? Because they don't know how else to get out, this group of 5 people. The first 2 movements they discover, because it takes time for them to gather these movements, because they do it during the near-death experiences. It's only when they experience that near-death experience that another interdimensional being, another angel, gives them the movement, and then they take it back and they share it with the others and they practice it until they get it right. Okay. So the first 2 movements, you discover that they can actually heal the body and bring back a person from the dead. Okay. The reason I bring this up is because I remember hearing about a group of ETs actually that were able to transcend time and space with just the mechanics of their bodies. They're able to travel the universe just with the mechanics of their bodies. And I do believe that it's through dance and through movement. Okay, so I feel like this is really important disclosure that they're giving us through this show by letting us know this. All right. It's told to Prairie that these movements have to be performed with perfect feeling. All right. So it's not just like you can just do the movement and like, oh, something happens. You know, I'm saying there's factors that have to come into play for these movements. Okay. It is by chance of fate that Prairie and the other companions are at long last given the 5th movement, but they are told that it is a matter of will and that only a person with great determination can swim to the other side. Okay. And during this point in the show, the bad guy, Hap or whatever, he's actually also watching them learn this 5th movement. He doesn't get the part about the will. He didn't get that message, but he discovers, and he'd been watching these prisoners that he had doing these movements, and he kind of didn't understand what they were doing until, you know, they had figured out how that it heals the body, and they'd one had healed the other one. Okay, so then he's like, okay, there's something here. He's paying attention to that. All right, and so he learns the 5th movement with them. And when he learns this, okay, he basically takes Prairie and he rips her away from the group and abandons her somewhere where she can't get back to them. And he tells her, like, even if, see, because here's the thing, if she's going to be free, he knows she's going to be found and they are going to come and find him because she's going to report him. And she's going to, you know, she can see now. That's what he realized. She's like, oh, she can see, you know, like now she knows, you know, where we're at and stuff. So he basically tells her, like, even if you find me, even if you get back to me, I will make sure that me and these group of companions of yours, we are going to do the movements and we are going to be the ones that travel to another dimension. And if they don't, if they refuse, then I will kill us all, is what he says. So he says, like, even if it happens, you know what, you're never going to find us again. So at this point, she decides to follow them to find them again in another dimension. She knows already that she's going to need 5 people to help her. Okay, it takes 5 people to do this. 5 people to learn the movements in combination with focused intention, willpower, and perfect feeling in order to help her. Okay, so that's what's going to draw you. See, because what I'm talking about even right now is like timeline jumping. Okay, this is something that if you are an ensouled being, an ensouled human on this earth, I believe that it is possible for you to activate yourself enough in order to do these things. I think that a lot of us are doing it without even knowing that we're doing it. We're jumping timelines and stuff. We're making choices, because how I see time is just how, you know, they taught me it when they told me I was the blue fairy. It is more like a circle. Okay, so there's always going to be these 2 points on either side, and how you're going to get from one point to the other. Well, I see them as like spirals. Like there's all these spiral lines going from one point to another. So those are all the different timelines and all the different paths that you can take to get to that other point in time. So I feel like there are fixed points, there are fixed things meant to happen to you, but how you get to those, all those little tiny details of how you get to that, okay, is going to be dependent on the choices that you're making, the conscious observation choices that you're making about your life and how you feel about yourself and what you believe to be true. Okay, so in season 2, okay, we're just gonna keep it going here because that's where they really made me focus. So I had to kind of go back and look again at season 1. The season 2 is when they really she finds herself. So here's the thing. At the end, she did end up being able to find 5 people to help her. to travel to her group of companions. Through her willpower, through their combined intention of sending Prairie to another dimension to find her companions, okay, it worked. Okay, and so in season 2, you find that she is in a completely different life. The thing that she finds that was different about this life, the reason why her own life, it's like just another version of her, okay, the thing that was different was the choice point, okay, of when she became blind. Okay, it was from choosing to get on a bus ride that ended up crashing over a bridge and all these things happened. All right, well, in this particular life, she chose not to get on the bus. So instead of losing her father, instead of losing her sight, she actually ended up having a great life. And she had all her dreams, coming true, and all of her wishes fulfilled. And, it was something completely different for her. Okay, so it's the critical choice point that made the whole life different. And she finds that her companions she does find them. They're all in different, um, they're not separated really, but they're in different roles. Okay, so, and here's the thing is that most of her companions end up being, she discovers that they're actually just caged in a different way, because most of them remembered that they had traveled from another dimension, and because Hap had traveled with them too, and he happened to be in a version of himself where he had a certain level of authority, he was able to convince people that they were um, insane, and he locked them up, except for one that didn't remember. There was only one of the companions that he did not remember. And so Prairie finds herself with these group of companions, and she's trying basically to convince the one that doesn't remember that this is true, this is what happened. That must be very frustrating. Okay, so in this life now, she is a patient actually of Hap's, and she's under his care, but the main doctor, that is the one that is her doctor now, is the other companion that was locked up with her, the one that doesn't remember. All right, so she desperately tries to share her story with him. It seems all the other travelers remember, yep, but him, and now he's working with them. And it's through these hardships in this new life that she starts to realize, okay, that she must integrate the version of who the body that she jumped into, the person's life that she jumped into, that that was one of the things they really were driving home to me over the summer. They were letting me know, like, you have to integrate both of those parts of you. You have to integrate the Cassandra that was here before you with the person, the Aurora Diamond Heart that you are now, because we need each other. We're in one body. We share one body now. All right. So, and it was actually Dr. Roberts, or Homer is his name, that is the one that convinces her that she must do this, because for a while there, she was just fighting, letting the other version of her in, letting the gifts even that other version had in. All right. So she confronts Hap after finding out that he's still a murderer in this dimension. All right. And this is what I thought was really interesting about this part, is that she says to Hap when she finds out, that this is, and he tries to say, we could do this together. I'm not killing these people because, I'm just a killer. I'm killing them because I'm doing these experiments on them, and it's going to prove something great about the universe, and she gets very upset and distraught, obviously. And she says, you know what an angel is? An angel is dust pressed into a diamond by the weight of this world. She tells him, you have violence and terror, loneliness and terror, but we have faith. And then she speaks an ancient language, and it lights up the whole building and causes a storm to ring with lightning and thunder. Okay, so what does this tell us about angels? This tells us that they can affect electricity. Okay, for one, they can affect electrical things. Like I know personally, I've absolutely had electrical problems with my lights and TVs and all sorts of weird things. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So the last part about this show that I'm going to mention, okay, is just a side character that Hap actually runs into. He happens to run into another traveler, because again, it's the subtle energy awareness. Okay, this other traveler has the same frequency. She can sense the frequency coming off of Hap, and she knows that he's a traveler. And so she goes over to him, and she basically says, she calls him out on it. And he's like, how do you know this? And she's like, it's the ringing. And he's like, you can hear the ringing in my ears. And she's like, yes. And, and she puts her ear to his, and she's like, yes, I can hear it. Can you hear mine? And he can. Okay. So she actually reinforces the whole ideal behind when they find out the fifth movement, that it is emotions and willpower that make this travel possible. Okay. So it's the power of movement. Okay. Feelings, intention, determination. All right. So I definitely know that I am an interdimensional time traveler here. I definitely know that I get signs in my body for when it happens, because I'm still even jumping around, it feels like, from time to time. I do have a large ringing in my ear that happens all the time, but it gets louder and softer depending on when they're trying to speak to me. All right. There was this one particular incident, one particular day where, you have to cultivate the frequency of authority, personal authority and sovereignty. Okay. It takes a while to get to that. But, eventually I got to this point where I felt it come in. I felt this personal authority come back in. It was like they showed me who I really was, and I finally accepted it and I believed it. And so I put out the intentions, and I put out the command to call back all of my parts, all of my pieces, from all my soul fragments, from all dimensions and all of time space. And when I did this with this level of authority, there was a loud boom in my ear, like a bomb had gone off next to it. And my ear rang so loud for quite a few minutes, so that's what I suggest you guys do. If you can cultivate that, that's the first part, not first parts, one of the integral parts of waking up to remembering who you are and remembering your mission here. Okay. Which is numero uno. If you want to get the work done, you want to, people, whatever goal you want to get out of this planet, fine, whatever. You want to stay here and party it up with me? Okay, fine. That sounds great. But find a reason to want to remember who you are so bad that it's the only thing. Okay. And spirit will guide you. All right. Spirit will guide you, because depending on your goal, all right, that you put out there, they will bring you the steps if you hold on to that goal. Okay. So let's keep going though. Let's see. I know personally for me too, even like, how they say, time flies when you're having fun, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. I can feel different frequencies of time depending on the environment, depending on the situation, I guess you could say, because I listen to music so much. I basically feel like I download these songs into me. Okay. And there's this one particular song that I've listened to so many times that when I put it on, okay, I can actually hear the slight change in how fast or how slow it's going. So I can know how fast or how slow time is moving depending on the way that song plays for me. All right. Because it's about the observer. It's about you being the observer. Let's keep going though, because there are some other things I wanted to touch on. So what do we know about the OA? Okay. So what does it take for this interdimensional time travel? Yeah, it takes getting your body right. It takes, I would say, I think Qigong is probably the thing that really starts to open it up. For me, it was dancing. For me, I actually prayed to the beings that I heard that could harness their bodies in that way and use the mechanics of their body in that way. I asked them to teach me how to dance, is what it was. And I think that they did. I think they answered my call. And I think that's why I'm able to do all of these, influence all these events with my creation spreads that I make, and that I sit there and I get inspired with these songs. And let me tell you, the songs are accurate. The songs that they give me, I will experience living that song out in wherever it is that they're directing me to. Okay. Because a lot of times it'll be either songs for events or songs for people. It takes me a while sometimes to figure out who those songs are about, but I usually do, because they're the heart songs. They're frequencies that are in our field. Okay. Because that's what a song is. A song is the music combined with the frequency of the words. Okay. And so it creates that feeling inside you. And now when I get around people, all right, who have a certain frequency in their field, that will translate, and they will piece that and connect that together through me through a heart song. Okay, is what I call it, a heart song. All right, and they will play that, and it will let me know what's going on with this situation, either between me and that person or for them in their life. And sometimes it'll just be like maybe a little snippet of a lyric. So that's one of the ways that angels and stuff speak to people, is through music. You need to pay attention. Okay, pay attention to the songs that affect your heart. Pay attention to the lyrics specifically that seem to stand out to you. I don't doubt that there are many that of you probably that even have experienced when you just get that earworm, that song that just plays again and again and again and again. And I feel like there's a reason for that. And if you pay attention to it, once you figure out the reason, that's when it leaves. For me, that's how it works anyway. Okay, so let's keep going. Now we're going to talk about the power of belief. Okay, and I will get to the chat in a minute, because I see it, like a lot of people writing in there, which makes me really happy. So thank you guys. Thank you everyone for showing up. Just say that again. Like, okay. Oh, I see Robert. Oh, I see Matthew. Oh, who else? Dennis. Oh, you showed up. Hi. Hi, guys. Anyway, thanks for being here. So let's keep going. So the power of belief. Okay, so the thing that I always think about when it comes to belief is some of the information and some of the ways that I started to cultivate the power of will, okay, through my own belief about myself and about the world and how it works. Now, the information that they brought to me was this was right when I first had my daughter, okay? And me and my son David, actually, we were watching this YouTube Red series. I can't remember the Vine Sauce. I think it was something like that. It was some special series about the power of belief and the power of placebo, okay, and stuff like that. And they were telling me basically that, or what they said in this series was that, when you close your eyes and you imagine, okay, let's say you're going to imagine running a marathon, and you really sit there and you focus and you visualize running that marathon, that it actually sends the same electrical signals, okay, to the muscles as if you would actually run the marathon. All right. So it tells you that your brain doesn't even know the difference, okay, between what you imagine and what actually happened. All right. So they basically said, one of the things, that studies that they gave, was how it was for weight loss. Okay. Now what they had told people was that they did two groups. All right. One of the groups, they told them, listen, all you have to do is make your bed. That is enough exercise to lose weight. That's all you have to do. Okay. And then they didn't tell that to the other group. All right. And they waited to see. And the people that they told that all they had to do was make their bed, all right, they ended up losing weight. Okay. And getting in better shape. So at this point in my life, I actually was overweight. I was like, well, I'll tell you a number. I was like 170 pounds. Okay. I was chunky. I was a chunky girl. And I was like, well, let's see if this works, So every day I made my bed, and I did something else on top of it. I made my bed every day, and I would imagine, I picked an actress whose body I wanted to look like at the time. And so I would imagine that my body looked like hers. And in 6 months, I looked like that. So this was the first start of me cultivating belief in myself. All right. And it's important to do that, because that's how you strengthen your willpower. And it's all about willpower when it comes to timelines, time travel, anything that you're trying to create, manifest in the current life. Okay. It's all about your willpower, what you really believe. See, because I am a powerful manifester. Okay. I've had people ask me to manifest some pretty crazy things. Okay. Like, I've had people ask me to manifest. One time I had someone ask me to manifest the COVID restrictions. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have said the word. Oh, okay. My channel's not that big yet. It's fine. So I had someone ask me to manifest this, and I told them absolutely I cannot, because there are individuals. Okay. There's individual consciousness, individual choices, right, in life, but there's also collective consciousness. Okay. The collective of us, the willpower of the collective is too strong to overpower it's too strong. Its willpower is too, it trumps mine when it comes to something that big. I'm still building up my willpower. I'm still building up that belief that I can do these things. I'm doing it just a little bit at a time, because if you put something on yourself, oh, okay, I want to create this, I want to win the lottery. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you can't really fully feel that frequency inside of you of this is true, I can make this happen, it's not going to happen. And then what's going to happen? It's not going to happen. You're going to be all discouraged and all this stuff doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be realistic a little bit. You have to start small. Okay. So, and okay, we're going to go into, okay, so how do the beliefs about yourself, okay, shape your life? All right. Oh man, this is towards the end of the notes where I was like busily like writing, trying to figure out how to get the rest of it in, because it was like approaching 6 o'clock and I was like trying not to be late, but then I was anyway. So, let me see if I can get on track here with that. Okay. So your beliefs about yourself. Okay. Now we're going to go into some childhood wound stuff, because that's just a lot of my main focus is trying to heal people up here and trying to teach them how their childhood wounds lead to a lot of suffering from behavioral patterns that are left behind, the remnants of this childhood wound, because they've not been healed. Okay. Because one of the ones that I've really been encountering a lot lately, okay, for people is abandonment issues, unworthiness issues, okay, feeling unlovable issues, especially with people who are orphans, okay, because I seem to come into contact with quite a few of those types of situations, like the people who have had experienced that. And let me tell you, the abandonment wound in someone who has been adopted as a baby is one of the hardest to root out and overcome, because a baby gets attached and connected to the mother, the voice, the energy, all of it. Okay. And when they come out, that's their security blanket, is that mother figure. Okay. And when the baby is taken away and given up, that baby then internalizes that, even though you don't think that infants and stuff can have thoughts like this, but they have feelings still. Okay. So in children, they're egocentric. They have to be, in order to survive, in order to make sure their needs get met. Okay. So they always make it about themselves. Okay. So how orphans make it about themselves is, I wasn't worthy of being loved. I was unlovable. There was something wrong with me. And they take this on and they carry it into their later relationships. And oftentimes it shows up because they just don't seem to know how to mature in a way to be loving in an adult way, and to receive love in an adult way. Okay. They will look to, for men, they will look to women to be the mother figure that they never had. Now, and here's the thing. And if they have any anger or resentment towards that mother figure for not having been given a certain type of love the way they want it, all right, they will take it out on that woman figure. All right. And see, they'll, or they can go the other way. They'll be desperate for it, giving anything they can just to, please love me. Please tell me I'm worthy. Please tell me that you won't abandon me, and they hold on to these things so tight. And it's really what ends the relationships. It drives people, it drives a woman who is going to be a mature woman that you want, that would have a healthy relationship with you. It makes it impossible for that to even happen. Okay. Because the only one that is going to put up with that kind of behaviors is going to be a woman with her own wounds. All right. That has her own trauma, and that the wounds kind of, in fact, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So one of the things that I used to tell people, when after I got divorced from my second ex-husband, okay, was, sometimes, people, you're looking for a soulmate, you're looking for, kindred spirit, but sometimes you find a wound mate. Okay. And that is what I had found in him. I found a wound mate. We had similar wounds that balanced out, and didn't balance. It made us play out the toxicity of the childhood that we had grown up in. And we basically encouraged the worst in each other with this, because we just didn't know how to heal from it. Okay. And so that's the type of relationships that you will end up in if you don't figure out how to find love for yourself, how to find the belief that you are worthy of love, that to go back in time and to go back to that infant self, and to have compassion for the mother, because no doubt No healthy mother with a supportive network would ever abandon her baby. Okay. And I actually, there was a study that they did with the midwives that actually I trained with, the ones who wrote Spiritual Midwifery. Her name is Ina Mae Gaskin. Okay. And she has a community in Tennessee where these midwives, that's where they started their practice, and they were able to do all these studies. And what they did was they offered up any woman who was struggling and having thoughts of leaving her baby, like giving up her baby for adoption, to come and birth with them. And through proper midwifery care and a supportive network, not one single woman that came to them that wanted to give their baby up for adoption ended up giving their baby up for adoption. Okay. Because, and now I remember this too. Okay. Because we have to reparent ourselves as adults. We have to reparent ourselves with finding the love that God has for us. Okay. The love that Father God or Mother God has for you. You form a relationship and let God love you and let God show you, okay, no, this human being that was your mother or your father, okay, they also had their own traumas and hardships, and this is what created the situation for you. So now you go back and you tell that younger version of you, okay, no, we got it wrong, and this is how we got it wrong, okay, because the adult version of you now has that foresight to be able to see, okay, no, that wasn't the case. I wasn't, no, a baby, an unlovable baby. Come on, like, no, there was something going on there that sadly, the society and the culture, they've been breaking the women for a long time. And the men. I mean, this is just what they've been doing. And so we got to try and clean this up. Okay, so let's keep going. See if there's anything else that I wanted to mention. I don't know if there was. I think maybe I might get to the Q&A part other than Yep. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. There's one last thing. Ooh, yeah, I found it. Okay. So that's the other thing that I think was very interesting about the OA and all of the storyline of that. Okay. It reminded me of a Carl Jung quote. Okay. And it was, no matter how isolated you are or how lonely you feel, if you do your work conscientiously, unknown friends will come to seek you. All right. So you do the work, you heal up, find your companions, find your tribe. And that's what's going to give you the happiness that you seek. That's going to be part of it anyway. So anyway, now I will go ahead and I'm going to read the chat. I'm going to try and read the chat. All right. I'm going to try to read the chat. And if there's any questions that anyone has for me right now, swing away. Okay, go ahead. Just swing away. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it is a good quote, isn't it? It's one of my favorites. I love Carl Jung. He's one of my favorites as far as psychology goes. All right, I'm scrolling up. All right. All right there. Sorry for the silence here for a minute, guys. Yeah, I've completely shorted out Rokus and stuff before. One time I got upset. And I yelled at my phone, and like all this stuff just went like all around me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I got to be careful. I got to be careful with my energy. Things have been upgrading lately. I don't know if anyone else has been feeling it, but there's just been a whole new level of unlocking in abilities lately. Dream synchronicities, third eye opening. Definitely been able to see more there. Like a lot of times when I feel my crown open, actually I can feel myself wearing some kind of headpiece, some kind of a bunch of triangles. I can almost see it sometimes, but I can mainly feel it, and it will open up my whole skull right here. Okay, and I can actually feel my meridians too. I can feel the electricity buzz through them, especially when I get activated. There we go. Let's get them going, right? I just have to think about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. So yeah, like in the movements too, I feel like that's what my dancing has been doing. I've just been moving these energies through my body system, and activating and unlocking. All right, so hey there, Trevor. Nice to see you here. Yeah, you know what's funny about unlocking in cheat mode stuff, you know? There's these codes that I found one time. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pronounce this. I think it was called Giovanni codes or Giovanni codes or something like that. It was these codes that this Russian guy had put out. They were like number codes, supposedly to hack the Matrix, right? And you know, the weird thing about it was, for quite a while, I had been seeing a sequence of numbers. For a couple weeks, I was seeing just this really weird long sequence of numbers, and I still remember it was 8827747. I was like, "What is this number sequence?" You know, and it was one of the codes, and it was the code for fame. I don't know. So let's see what else. What else? Any questions? I feel so awkward when it comes to this. So, okay, here we go. Oh, Miss Swan's got me something. Here we go. Since yesterday, my left eye has been going nuts, twitching and glitching like mad. Funny you mentioned the eye stuff in your live, Matthew. Oh, you're talking to Matthew. Oh, well, thanks, guys. Talking about that. Yeah, the left eye is a really cool thing. I seem to, you know, when I'm dancing, I notice this because a lot of it is just really instinct that I'm going on now. I'm just going with the feeling, what feels good, okay, through the music. And every song plays through me in a different way. That's what it is. The song frequencies are playing through me as I'm doing these dance movements. Okay. And I notice a lot of times when I'm starting to do things, okay, my eye, it does. It, like, I turn to the side and I do this blink. I don't know. I just, you know, boop, 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 boop. And then we start doing the. So we all start doing that type of stuff. And it's so much fun. And yeah, I don't know, guys. Let's see. Aurora, when you dance, do you feel in tune with the universal heartbeat? That's a good question. Yeah, I would say I try to get to that point. I would say that let me feel into that question for a second. The universal heartbeat. Okay, yeah, no, this is true. That is true. It happened to me yesterday. I was wondering what was happening, but I guess they were preparing me for this question. Okay, because I was listening to a particular song yesterday, and some weird things were really happening inside my chest. It was like I was feeling the high heart. I was feeling the high heart like beat with the song, and it was so strong. And I was like, "What is this weird feeling? You know, this new weird feeling inside my body?" Because I'm very aware of what the feelings inside my body are going on, right? So yeah, I would say that I absolutely can get into that zone, and I don't even think it takes being up and moving around to dance because I was in my car at the time, but I still end up going. I can't help myself, and I end up going crazy with my hand movements in the car the most. So I'm always like trying to keep it like on the down low so that people next to me don't look at me like I'm some kind of crazy woman. Because sometimes I feel like one. But yeah, that was a good question. Thank you, Robert. All right. Anyone else have any questions? So yeah. If there's any, let me think if there's any one other thing that I wanted to mention, because I know there was one other thing that I was thinking about talking about. Yes, drumming is very much gonna get you there. Yeah, yeah. What was my dream from last week, or like which one are you talking about? Because I've had quite a few of them lately. Oh, or maybe that's what you're reminding me of. Maybe that's what they're trying to get me to talk about a little bit. I don't really want to talk about it. Let's see. Okay, will I? Okay, fine. I did actually have another dream recently. You know, I think it was another premonition type of dream. Yeah, I call my dance movement light weaving. That's what I call it. It's funny that you mentioned weaving with the web. Okay, so this is just another, I think this is really important. It was about shadow work, quite honestly. And they showed me, I only had it, and it's usually, if I'm going to remember a dream, I usually remember it first thing in the morning, but sometimes they come, like in the middle of the day, and they just like pop up there, and they just pop right in front of me. And so I was sitting there outside in my backyard, and a dream popped, and it was just a memory of it. Okay, a short little memory of it. And it was of this car, this person, okay, in this dream, they had left without saying goodbye. And it hurt me. I guess, it was like in the dream, I was like so sad about it. And I could see their car driving away, and they kept focusing on the mud, and they kept focusing on the tire in the mud. Okay. And so it just so happened that later on that day, I ended up finally doing my homework for ESA, which is, Earth Star Academy. I was doing my homework, which was a 7-day meditation challenge. And we were doing, I was doing day 7. And this particular meditation was about imagining yourself in a lotus flower, okay, in the ocean. And then you take that lotus flower and while you're sitting on it, and you pull it down to the bottom of the ocean, which I was already quite scared to do that, because anytime I visualize going to the bottom of the ocean, it kind of scares me, from some past lives where I've drowned. And but I was like, it's like, no, I'm going to do this, and so I got into it, and I'm imagining and pulling myself down to the bottom of the ocean. And I get there, and I'm just like, okay, wow. I'm like, and I felt comfortable. I actually felt comfortable. And then you're supposed to visualize these bubbles, okay, these bubbles around you. All right. And these she talks about, and these bubbles are going to have mud in them. Okay. And the bubbles are going to have different colors, different levels of mud in them. All right. And what you were supposed to do is you were supposed to take one of the bubbles, and you hold it, and then you're supposed to like pop it and integrate it. Okay. And when you pop it, like those are basically unprocessed feelings, feelings of muddy feelings, painful feelings, traumatic things, is part of the way to do shadow integration. So when I actually did this, I realized, oh, this is the dream. Okay, so there were some feelings here, okay, that I had not dealt with. All right, and so it was in a bubble, and it wasn't integrated. So once I did that, I literally felt it shoot throughout my whole body. I couldn't even do more than a couple bubbles. It was such a powerful meditation. And that's another reason why I think that we have all been upgrading like a crazy ton, because I don't usually feel meditations that strongly. I mean, I feel them, I feel it in my body a lot. I feel very specifically, but this one was like, I literally could feel like a burst of energy hit me like hard as I popped these bubbles. And it was quite exhausting, the mud bubbles. You guys got to go down into your subconscious and clear up those mud bubbles, Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it was very sad. It was very sad. I was like, oh, I guess I've been not dealing with it. Okay, so let's see. Anything else? Let's see. Yeah, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it, guys. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that I don't know if there's anything else left then, guys. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that they wanted to get me to talk about. Yeah, I guess I could talk about what I actually do. I guess I could try and get some more readings and stuff like that. I definitely do tarot readings and astrology readings. And I am going to make a website. I'm trying to finish it up by tomorrow. So that way you guys have an easier way of getting hold of me, because I realize I just keep telling you guys go to my email or message me on Facebook and stuff like that. And because I do tarot readings, I do astrology readings, I do manifestation coaching, just reach out to me if you have any questions about anything, any of the stuff that I do and how I do it. Eventually I do plan on still trying to find a way to make my dance videos, but as it stands right now, it's so hard for me to get the sound of playing music, the songs in the background, in combination with recording what I'm actually doing. It's like I need some kind of setup. I can't seem to figure out how to do it, you know? Oh, hi, Lakeside Laura. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so glad you were here. Yes. So I'm going to be getting, I do have a website right now that still is up and it works, but it sends all of my payments to PayPal and they hold the money now at PayPal because God knows why. They just do that stuff now. And and then it's not even like just for a little bit. It was like for like a month they wanted to hold it. So I'm like, okay, I definitely need to make a new website because otherwise I've been asking people to pay me through Venmo or other things like that. But you can email me still at auroradiamondheart@gmail.com. Okay. Or you can find me on Facebook as Aurora Diamond Heart. Okay. Or you can find me on Instagram as Villanelle2, the Panhandle Villanelle2. Could you imagine doing a reading? Let's see. Haha. I would be like, you're an alien, you're an alien, you're an alien. Everyone is an alien. Yeah, we all are hybrids at this point. We really are. I know. I don't understand. I don't understand why PayPal does this to me. You know, I'm like, come on. Yeah. Wish me luck on making this website, guys. I want to get it ready before the live stream that I'm doing with Matthew on Saturday because I just want it to be easier for people to get at me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so tricky for me. It's just new. It's just that I'm just at the beginning. That's all. I'm just new. So it'll take me a minute. I was actually thinking about doing a card real quick. So, okay, fine. We'll get the cards. Oh, yeah, baby. We got the cards. Keeping me here a little bit longer. I can't help it now that all my friends are in here right now. So, my companions. All right, let's do a card for the collective, right? Let's just do a nice one little card for the collective. Hopefully I don't bungle it up, right? Okay. No, I won't. Okay. So here we go. I'm doing it. I see you, Laura. I see you saying that. I know. I can't seem to get to the epic live streams that you do, the time wise here yet. I'm trying. I'm like, I want to, you know what? I want to keep people here for hours. That's what I want to do. I want to be one of those types. How do I get to be that? You know, how do I get in the flow with my talking so that way I can just find a way to keep going? Because I do it in my head all day long. So why can't I do it here? I don't understand. I'll tell you what. I'll sign off of here and I'll be like, I'll think of a million other things that I forgot to say. And I'll be like, okay, I guess I'll have to say that in the next live stream. And I start making the notes. And I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing it back. So this is my Aquarian tarot deck. As I've mentioned to everyone before, this is my only tarot deck that I use, really. I do use some oracle cards on my phone, basically, for every now and then. But mainly I use this. And I shuffle a lot. So just give me a minute because I don't know. I can't stop myself sometimes. Okay. All right, let's get it. Here we go. All right, last one. Oh, yep, see, it's done. It's ready now. All right, here we go. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so this is a card reading for the collective here. All the people who are going to watch the live stream now and in the future. What is the message you guys need to hear? Boop. Oh, 2 cards came out. I don't like that, but okay, we'll do 2 cards. Fine. We got, keep working at it, they're telling me. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, we got, I'm going to show them to you. Don't look at my nails though. Oh my God, the nails are so bad. I need to get them redone. Okay, so we got the 3 of Pentacles and the 9 of Rods. They're saying don't give up. You're making progress. You are making real progress. Okay, it's small incremental changes here. You're working hard at it. You know, maybe you've been slightly wounded. Okay, it's been a little bit, you feel like, oh, I don't know if I have it in me to keep going, you know, but you can. Don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle, you know. So yeah, what else can we say about this? This is someone who's putting a lot of time and energy and effort into creating something real, creating something of value. Okay. And with their actions, they just have to keep going. Because, you know, the next one is the 10, which is the completion. The 9 is right before the 10, so right before the completion of it. All right, being inspired to finish taking those actions. But again, this person has been definitely has fought the good fight. So just basically, I feel like it's saying, you guys, don't give up. There's something you're working towards. You know, keep doing it. It's really happening. The change is really happening. Even if you can't see, even if you're not seeing the huge, or people aren't seeing the huge results on the outside, like, you are doing it. Keep chipping away at it. Yep. So there it is. Never give up, guys. Yep. Hello, Alexander. Were you lurking in the background? Okay. Hi. Maybe you said hi earlier. I don't know. When chat goes crazy. So yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? The energies lately have been fucking hard, guys. It's been hard. It's been an emotional roller coaster for me. I'm definitely clearing things that I did not even realize were there. You know what I'm saying? Like wounds, things that, you know, I'll be honest with you. The wounds that I mainly deal with are wounds of rejection and feeling unwanted, feeling that's the biggest ones, that especially the ones for me that I'm working with. It seems like they're bringing up a lot of some memories from my teenage years and stuff that were really, really very painful. And I just keep thinking, like, oh my God, how many more of these things do I have to clear? You know, like every time I feel like I'm like, oh, finally got through one, you know, now we're going to go to the next one, you know? And I guess that's the one I'm working on, is rejection. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can do it. 6 planets in retrograde. That's exactly right. It's really trying to get all the things that aren't serving you in your life, you know, straightened up and squared away. And actually, we got an upcoming eclipse too happening in October, which is going to slam us again with some energies. And I'm doing a little bit of studying into that right now. I'm seeing, you know, how that's really affecting the signs. And I was thinking about maybe talking about that in my next live stream, because I do like to talk about astrology too. It's just sometimes it's hard to know how to do that. I'm still chipping away, guys. I'm still learning how to bring the information I want to talk about here. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Yeah. Yep. The more we are the more pressure to stop me, the more I'm determined to go on. Yes. Keep going, Dennis. Keep going. Yep. The layers are definitely peeling back fast. They are. That's really what it would. Yeah, that is what it would call it. The layers. It's these layers. You know, I remember even talking about how, you know, when I first started really forcing myself to speak up. That's the other real thing. You know, I had to clear a lot of stuff that had been done to me over many lifetimes. You know, vows of poverty, okay, gag orders. Okay, that was a big one. Clearing my throat chakra to be able to even be here right now. Like, you guys don't even get it. Like, you would not have seen me here a year ago. I could not have done this. I did not even like the sound of my voice. I would not even voice record messages for my friends. Okay. I would not show myself on video. No, just even taking a picture of myself was like stressful. It would make me sweat, like anxiety, like I don't know. And I didn't even know why, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it was just that feeling of unworthiness and feeling like I don't deserve to be heard. No one's going to believe me, even if I do talk about this stuff. And I really just had to get to the point where, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't care, like I believe me. I love talking about this stuff. I do it for me. I don't really, I do it because it's what my heart guides me to do, and it feels good to do it. And so really clearing that was really, really hard for me. I've mentioned before, like I had no friends. I lost everyone. I even cut my own mother out of my life for quite a few years because I just was like, you know what? Um, it was like a reflection. It was like I wasn't able to be growing up because she was trying to she couldn't let go of the version of who she wanted me to be. And I didn't know how to be the person I was meant to be with the way she was treating me, and I realized that all the friends that I had, like birds of a feather, flocked together. They were reflections of who I was at the time. And what was I seeing reflected in these people? How were their behaviors? They were not good. They were not good. We were drug addicts, basically. I was big into, opiates, amphetamines, things of that. And it was all because I was just trying to numb the pain that I was refusing to allow myself to feel, and it took a long time to let go of those things and realize, you know what, I want to be better. I want to be a better example for my children, and I want to be healthy. I want to find, but it felt completely impossible at the time because my friends are mainly, my mom, she would come and she would just, you need to be doing this and you need to do this and you need to do this and you need to do this. And it'd be like, Mom, I know I need to do all those things. That's the things I feel bad about every single day. Like I literally go over these things like, I can't believe I'm not doing this. Oh, and then I feel bad about myself. And then because I feel bad about myself, I'm paralyzed from doing anything. Okay. And then what happens? Well, then I get called out. You need to be doing this and this and this and this. Oh, I'm not doing that. Oh, now I feel bad about myself. So now it's like this cycle, this horrible cycle of just keeping me locked in place and unable to create or do anything. I had to get to the point where I felt good about myself to even start this. I had to find the way to feel good about who I am in order to even be here with you guys now. So it's really the key, find a way to feel good about yourself. Find a way to be easier on yourself. Forgive yourself. It can be tricky, but it's necessary. It's necessary if you want to create the real change. Let's see. People chit-chatting. Here we go. You got this, Trevor. You can do it. Yeah, the emotional triggers that we go are going to tell us where those wounds are for sure. The things that other people do. And that's the thing. That's what you have to watch out for, because so easily when you have these wounds, okay, people around you can behave in a certain way. And even if they're not intending to hurt you in that way, and they're not doing that, if it hits that wound a certain way, you will automatically be taken back to that experience, and you'll want to project that onto them, that they're the person making you do this, when really it's a wound, an unhealed wound that needs to be fixed and corrected. Okay, feeling unwanted and things of that nature. There's certain ways that if you're just, oh man, how do I get to that one? How do I get to that one? Hold on. I don't know how to get to that one without a good example. I might not be able to go to that one, guys. I don't know how to get to that one without a good example. Let me see if I can pull it back. No, they completely took it from me. Okay, it's done. It's gone. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Oh, hit the like button for me while I have you guys here. Hit the like button, please. And also share the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I always forget to say those things. And I know it's important to say those things, because otherwise people don't think about it. There's been quite a few times I've watched videos and I just totally forgot to hit the like button. Oh, you're talking about moving lymph around. I see that, Miss Liz. It is very important to get the lymph moving. You know, there's a layer of, it's the fascia. There's it's like we're a giant aquarium. Okay, we're a giant aquarium, and the one thing about the lymph nodes, okay, is that they don't have a system of pumps and valves like our arteries and veins do. Okay, so you know when your blood is flowing all around you, it's the pumps and the valves that bring and move it around. Okay, well the lymph fluids, they don't have a system like that. So if you're not moving, that stuff becomes stagnant. Okay, and just think about what an aquarium would look like if it didn't get touched. Okay, what happens? You know, all the green stuff, all the mold, all the nastiness, you know, the mud bubbles maybe, you know. That's what those are. They're trapped emotions and trapped experiences that you got to. It's making me want to move now. Oh, this is making me feel my shoulders. Oh, let me just stretch for a second, guys. Hold on. Oh God. Oh, you hear that? I don't know if my. Oh my God. Wow, that felt good. Okay, crack. All right, that feels much better. I like to use my trampoline to get my lymph fluid to move. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just so much fun. You have to. All I have to do is just run around on it walk around and have talks with God as I'm walking around. It's so much fun, and the kids like it. And then they can get satisfied, and then I'm also staying healthy. So, but it's gonna get cold, and I'm not gonna be able to go out there for much longer. What I'm gonna do? I guess I just keep dancing because they have been making me dance lately. I'll tell you what, something is going on because I know when they make me start dancing that there's something coming, something big. It's upgrades. It's upgrades that I'm harnessing in somehow. You know, the first time it happened was over the winter time. It was crazy because I was having the worst hot flashes I've ever experienced in my entire life for like a good solid 3-month period. Now the other thing that I was doing at the time though, I was doing all these subliminals for activations. So I'm like trying to figure out, I'm like, am I just getting activated, or am I just like in menopause, or like is this just some other, like, is my, because I'm like vaping now, is that the difference? You know, like what the hell is going on here? But I know that they would not let me stop dancing. I was dancing so much, hours and hours and hours a day. Okay, to the point where I'm already having hot flushes, and now I'm sweating on top of it because I'm dancing, and I just could not stop. And I felt like they just wanted, because they wanted me to keep moving that stuff. I think that that some of it was possibly getting stuck in certain places, and they were just like, maybe due to the hot flashes, maybe due to the hormonal things. I haven't quite figured that out, but granted, at least to say, if you're being inspired to get up and move, do it. Spirit could be asking you to unlock yourself, and that's what I was doing. We're nice and warmed up now, huh? Yeah. As I'm about to be like, okay, guys, it's been like, I think I've done my time. I'm like, I want to be one of those couple hours live streamers, and then an hour and then 15 minutes ago, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm good. I'm about to head out. Oh, yeah. Yes. The collarbone. That's a good place to start. That's a drainage point, right? There's a drainage point right here in the collarbone. Oh, I did remember one more thing. Oh, wow. This is going to be at the end. I hope some people actually see this if they watch all the way through. There was one other thing I wanted to go over. The mantras that I do, okay, I have 3 mantras that I do for anger, fear, and jealousy. And the reason why I do these particular mantras, okay, is because for one, they only have 1 word difference in like a sentence, all right, and it's got 1 word difference. And they just seem to have been the ones that were the most easy for me to remember from the ones that I did way back in my early 20s. I did a whole mantra meditation program that was like 45 minutes of just saying mantras every single day. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys, all right, the mantras that I use. Okay. I'm going to say them. I'm going to say them a couple times. I'll say it twice. I'll say it one fast and then one real slow. And if you need to hear it, okay, just rewind the video, or, after this live stream ends, go ahead and rewind it or whatnot. Okay. So the first one is for anger. Okay, now these are good because what these mantras and these Sanskrit sayings are saying, okay, is basically take this emotion from me. Okay, take this feeling of anger or fear or jealousy, take it from me, and return it to me in a usable form. Okay, because you can't just suppress the feeling. It's not that easy. You have to transmute it. You have to figure out what it's about. So if they can bring it back to you in a way that you can figure out how to use it, okay, to heal or whatever it is that you're going to do, then that's really going to be key to helping you clear up the wounds and clear up your body and clear up your energy field. Okay, so the first one is for anger. Okay, and it goes like this. It goes, Shanti Prashanti Sarvakroda Upashamani Swaha. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. There's no way I'm typing this in the chat though, guys, so you're going to have to just listen. So here it goes again. This one's for anger. This one's saying, please take this from me and return it to me in a usable form. Shanti Prashanti Sarvakroda Upashamani Swaha. Okay. Now the next one is going to be for fear. Okay. And it goes, Shanti Prashanti Sarva Irsha Upashamani Swaha. Okay, now you see the Kroda and the Irsha. Okay, Irsha is the word that we're changing. All right, so it's just Shanti Prashanti Sarva Irsha Upashamani Swaha. All right, and now here's the last one, and this one's for jealousy. Okay, now the word we're changing instead of Kroda or Irsha is Baya. Okay, so here we go. Shanti Prashanti Sarva Baya Upashamani Swaha. I'll say it one more time. Shanti Prashanti Sarva Baya Upashamani Swaha. Okay, so I felt good saying those. I feel calmer now already. Okay, so what you want to do, all right, is you want to say those at least 7 times for it to work. Okay, like it's about the number of times you say it is important. Okay, you can do it. I think it was 3, 7. I think I can't remember the next step up. I was 32 or 27. I can't remember right now. And the biggest one though is the 108. Do the whole 108 because the 108 is the 108 petals of the heart. All right. And you can say it out loud, okay? Or you can just think it. Okay. Just thinking it is enough. Really, it's powerful. Okay. Saying it and thinking it at the same time though, I wonder. I'm like, is that like double the amount? I don't know. But I used to feel that way. So, ooh, yeah. Ooh, right there. What's going on? Ooh, sorry guys. I'm trying to fill myself up in front of you here, but damn, a little pain going on. Just saying that one. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, if there's anything else, I do think I was about to head out. I'm seeing So Dragons though from Alexis. What do you mean So Dragons? Okay, what are you saying? What are you saying? I hope so. I hope you guys liked those mantras. I really do love saying my mantras. I used to, when I was in school, okay, when I was in midwifery school, all right, I used to hold a little crystal egg, this crystal ball egg that I had. And while the teacher was talking, I would just sit there and I would hold it and I would just say the mantras in order to get some of them done. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I was doing them every day. So I wanted to do this one, like, particular amount. And, after a while, I would take this crystal ball, and one of the things is crystal egg, okay? And one of the things is about it was when I first got it, when I first found it, it was in this place called the Gypsy Palace. And a friend of mine worked there, and it was in the little container. I didn't want to buy it though. So I told Spirit, I said, I want this crystal egg, but I don't want to have to buy it. And the next day I showed up and it had dropped on the ground, I guess. And so it had a little crack in it, a little tiny crack. So she was like, we can't sell it. So just go ahead and take it. Okay. So I had it. And so one of the other things I was asking for Spirit at the time was, I wonder what it would be like to have a crystal vision, a vision in a crystal ball. Like, I wonder what that would really look like and how that would play out. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm staying for just a little bit longer. I'm going to just finish up this story. Okay. So I want to have a vision in a crystal ball. Okay. So I really felt like part of me was priming it when I was doing these mantras with it. And so I tried it one day and I sat there and I started, and I did have a couple visions. All right. And one of them had, like, I think it was two of them. And one happened right away, but there was another one. Okay. And what I asked was, I was going through heartache at the time. I was living in Florida. All right. And I was like, well, if I'm not supposed to follow this other person, who am I supposed to follow? I said. And I looked at it and I saw a vision of a shadow, like a person, and they were looking up some stairs. And at the top of the stairs, there was a man. And above the man was a star. Okay. A star was over his head. And I was like, okay, like that's really weird. I couldn't believe I saw something. I'm like, that's really cool. Like, wow, I saw this vision, And then this vision actually ended up happening on my 23rd birthday. Okay. Oh man, please don't make me get into, okay. There's like another story coming in now. Oh my God. Okay. So on my 23rd birthday, I decided to get a natal chart reading done for the first time. This is what kicked me off in astrology, knowing like, holy crap, this astrology stuff is real. And so I was there getting ready to do an astrology reading, and there was a tarot reader, okay, a man who was in the lobby, and he was waiting for his next client or whatever. And so I had some chats with him, and he seemed really nice, so I went and I got my reading done. And I told myself when I came back out, I was like, if I come back out and he's there, I'll give him my number, is what I told myself. And so I go out there and pay for my reading, and he's not there. And I'm like, oh, well, Spirit decided, Spirit chose. So I go to leave, and this place was in a basement. Okay. This place was in a basement. And so when I went to go leave, I looked up the stairs, and up the stairs, here he is standing in the doorway. And above the doorway was an actual star, a sticker of a star. Okay. And he was like, can I take you to dinner? And I was like, sure, like this is crazy. What just happened, And yeah, he was the one who brought me to Jesus. He was the one that brought Jesus into my life for real. So I was very happy that that they brought that into my life that way. It was very, very cool. So get a crystal ball and try meditating with it. See what comes up. Okay. All right. I'm really going to go now. Oh, another story. There's one other last little thing I wanted to say. Okay. And it was about my 23rd birthday. I was just talking to someone else about this yesterday, so I'm just going to briefly mention it. But it's about talking to animals. Okay. And how powerful it is to talk to animals. Okay. How much they can respond. I used to watch this show called The Pet Psychic on Animal Planet all the time. And she used to be like, all you have to do is talk to the creatures, and they talk right back to you. And she would tell the owners things. The pets were telling the owners. She was telling them the things that the pet was saying, and she was blowing their minds. They're like, how on earth does she know this? So I decided, I'm like, well, if this is true, I should be able to test it, because that's how I feel about things. Like, if it should be a repeatable thing, right? It should be, you can do something and you should be able to do it again and again and again if it's something that's real and works. So I had this cockatiel at the time, all right, and I called her Sweetheart, and she was a sweetheart. And every year she would lay me 4 eggs for some reason, okay, just 4 eggs. They were not fertile, okay, she didn't have a partner to do that with, but she would still lay these eggs, all right. So this particular year, right before my 23rd birthday, I decided, I was like, I'm gonna do this experiment. And so every time she laid an egg, I went to her and I said, wow, like, you are so amazing. Like, oh my God, whenever you lay these eggs, it just makes me so happy. It shows me that you're healthy. It shows me that you love me, that you lay these eggs. And just thank you for laying these eggs. It's just so cool, And that year, she laid 23 eggs. She laid 23 eggs. And on my 23rd birthday, she passed away. And I was like, wow, that's some powerful stuff right there. Like, it shows you the power of your intentions, your words to animals. Even it's like she loved me so much that made her feel like she took my words. That's what it felt like. It felt like I encouraged her for this, and because she loved me so much, she just went crazy, like. So watch out, like use your words carefully or, use them powerfully. That's what I should say. Make sure you use your words powerfully. Yeah, animals do talk. Animals, insects, trees. I mean, I have conversations. I'm never really alone. Besides all my companions around me. Okay. Okay. My cover photo is a dragon today. Yeah, because I was bringing my dragon energy. Yeah, I was trying to bring my dragon energy. Spilling it out. That's what the dragon is, spilling out the water, right? She's washing away. She's bringing out the emotions. All right, guys. I am really gonna head out now. It's been so much fun. I did not even anticipate going into all those other things, but like I said, I told Spirit that they would, they could go ahead and tell me, guide me a little bit better here today. So it's been a lot of fun though. I had a really good time. So like I said, you can find me Aurora Diamond Heart at Gmail. Okay. You can see me if you can make it to the conference in Orlando. If not, try to make it to the conference in December in Sedona. If you want a reading with me, just reach out to me. I had a great time here with you guys today. I hope everyone has a great day. Go back and listen to the mantras that I gave you, so that way you can, and like the video, please. And yes, go back and listen to the mantras I gave you if you need any help with those things. I just know that it's a human condition to feel these feelings. So let's all help each other, and let's all do this together, because we are the group of companions. We are the tribe. And I love you guys. Okay? See you in the next dimension. Bye.